Hey everybody, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits. Welcome, happy spring. I hope you're doing well. It is a very busy time at our house. We're gearing up for my daughter's graduation, which is not this weekend, but next weekend. So yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, it's happy, sad, it's all of that. This weekend is actually my birthday, and so I'm going to be running a little Ravelry sale on all of my independent patterns, which starts now, so you can go check them out. On what was my code that I decided on? Hold on. It is BDAY25, so BDAY25, all one word, all caps. On Ravelry will get you 25% off any of my independent patterns like 1999 pullover and many others. Go check them out if you want to go get a little discount. And then today I'm celebrating something. This is not even my birthday. There's something almost bigger and more exciting that I'm celebrating. And I have a very special, important to me finished object that I have finished. It's finished, it's done, it's ahead of schedule, and I could not be more happy to announce that I have finished my Mosi sweater for my Iceland trip in June. Round of applause, everyone. I know. Thank you. I would like to share some thank yous. Thank you to everyone in the comments who has been cheering for me over the last 6 months to finish this sweater on time. Thank you for all of your helpful tips and encouragement along the way. Thank you to my sweet family who knew how precious and tiny this yarn was and carefully moved it if it was ever sitting somewhere that they needed to be. They gingerly, carefully knew, like, don't let any of the stitches slide off, and then they moved it to a different spot if needed. Thank you, family, for understanding. They're very well trained by now over the years. Thank you to Dinah, my faithful knitting companion, best little cat helper in the world, for being there for pretty much every stitch of this whole sweater. She would be, in between me and the sweater or laying on my lap as I knitted around her head. Thank you, Dinah, for your support. Thank you, Hélène Magnússon, for this beautiful, yarn that you have created from the Icelandic sheep. It's very special and one of a kind. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Who else should I thank? Erica, thank you for many coffee dates spent, looking at this, can I do this? Am I going to finish it in time? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your support. It's truly appreciated. This is the big day. It is finished, and I think it's time to try it on. And yes, I got myself a little treat at Whole Foods. Do you know in their little dessert case, they have $2.50 treats. They have mini cheesecakes, little lemon and lime tarts. And I haven't done this in a long time, but I believe in treating yourself when you accomplish something or you've had, a hard day or whatever. So this is my Mosi treat to myself today that I will enjoy later. But yeah, let's try this on. So here is my Mosi in all its glory. It could not be a more perfect fit. I'm so excited about this sweater, and it's so much fun to finally put the whole thing on, for real. So sleeve length is perfect. Like I mentioned last time, I'm so happy with the way these repeats worked themselves out over the length of the sleeve, where I got exactly 4 repeats of these triangle sections. It landed perfectly right here, which is just so satisfying. And the overall fit is perfect. Sleeve length, perfect. Underarm length, perfect. There's some room under here for layering if I need to, but it's not oversized whatsoever. It hits right at my hips, which is where I like my sweaters to hit. And I literally knit this cuff this morning, so I just finished this. I just wove in the ends. I have not blocked it yet, but I'm going to do that next with you because it's a celebration day. It's a Mosi day. and it deserves like the celebratory soak. But I love it so much. It already is perfect. Like I wouldn't really have to block it, but I think I want to, per the instructions in the pattern and from some advice from a viewer that I asked a few episodes ago. I knew there was someone who had knit a Mosi, and I wanted to know what they did when they blocked it, because I just want to be gentle and careful, and I don't want anything bad to happen to it because it is just right, like right now. So anyway, let's go over some of the details of the sweater because it has been a journey. So if you are new here, I have been knitting this sweater for 6 months. So I'll just go into the whole thing because it is like, it deserves a proper wrap up. But this is the Mosi sweater by Hélène Magnússon. I am going on a tour in Iceland with Hélène in June. And so my whole goal was to knit this sweater in time to wear this sweater in Iceland because it just is like the perfect thing to do. And so I cast on November 1st of 2024. At the time I was like, is this even possible in 6 months? And it is. I'm so happy I stuck to it. It did seem crazy at first, but I wanted this sweater so badly. And I saw she had these kits, on her website, and I ordered it from her. And it's just I don't know, I cannot wait to wear this in Iceland. So I'm very, very excited that I got it done in time. Plus, now that I'm done a little bit early, I have like 2 weeks still at least, I can properly block it and let it dry, and it's going to be like not rushed at all, which makes me so happy. So this is knit in Helene's yarn, one of her yarns, and it's called Gillitrut Tviband, and it is a lace weight yarn. I knit it on US 1s and US 2s. And even though it's lace weight, it is very warm, as I'm feeling right now, because we're having, some warm days now in the spring. But I love this weight. It is a very lightweight, it's solid color work. So it has floats behind it, which in a different weight of yarn could be a little bit much, but I just love the weight of this and the feel of this and the warmth and the softness. And it is wool. It's like a rustic Icelandic wool, but not like lopey. It is different. And so I just think it's really special. These colors are my favorite. I love an olive green, but I really love a chartreusey yellow. And so this is her original kit. This is my really beat up pattern that I've been carrying around for 6 months. But you can see all the beautiful pictures here, and I'll add some up here of the yarn and the pattern. And it is meant to match the Icelandic moss and like the volcanic rock. And that is exactly what this looks like. And so I just love it so much. So this is how much I have left, which might still be enough to make a hat. I really wonder if I could squeeze a hat out of this. But the pattern recommends 5 balls of each color. I did order 1 extra green because of some mods I did, and I ended up ordering an extra black as well because it might be just my personal tension, but I was running out of black a little bit at the end because there's a lot of black in every repeat of the chart. And so, but this is a good, I didn't feel at all worried that I was going to run out with that much yarn left. And yeah, let me talk about my mods a little bit. And so yeah, 5 skeins of each color, so 6 of the raven and the moss, but that's my yarn usage for this sweater. I knit the 3rd size, which is, I think it's called the medium. I don't remember what the measurements are, but it's perfect. It might be the 40 inch. That's usually kind of what I usually do, like a 38 or a 40 for most sweaters. And so the first thing I did was I made a fold over collar in the moss color, and that is a mod. So in the original, it just has one, like a 1 layered collar, but about this length. And then I did some short rows in the collar to make it stand up a little bit in the back. So I did short rows, ribbing in the back on like the back third of the sweater is kind of where I started it. And then a little bit shorter in the front to kind of match this length that she has in her final pattern photos. But that was just one mod I wanted to make it fit a little bit better so it isn't pulling back on my neck at all. And then I also, I don't know if you can see it, but I added short rows right here. You can tell in this chartreuse color back here, also starting at the back third. So I kind of blended those together where this has a taller collar in the back, just by a little bit. It's a little bit taller here than it is here. And then I added a little chartreuse like moon shape back here just for a little short row shaping to kind of make it more comfortable for me personally. It's just my weird preferences, and that's what I decided to do. And then I folded in the collar and sewed it down. So that's the one mod I made. Did I do anything else? Maybe that was it. So that was it. I didn't modify anything else or make any other changes. I just followed the pattern exactly as she wrote it. And I could not be happier with the outcome of this sweater, as it's my first all over color work sweater. It is the first time I've knit a lace weight sweater on US 1 and 2s. And I'm so ecstatic about it. I was a little nervous. Sometimes when you do all over color work, it can get tight with your floats, but I was really careful about that. And there's definitely a lot of give and stretch. And I think it's the beauty of this yarn that makes it fit so nicely. And it looks, I have not blocked it at all. So I'm excited to get to that next. So let's talk about that. So there are instructions in the back of my very beat up pattern that I've been carrying around for so long. I was kind of sad last night and this morning as I was doing the last rounds of my sleeve. And I'm like, okay, this is my last triangle row. And it was just like kind of bittersweet because I've spent so much time with this and I know these little motifs by heart now. And anyway, so her blocking instructions, because I want to do this exactly right, but I think it's got to be pretty similar to what you usually do. But she said, darn in all the ends, which I have, hand wash very delicately, and let soak for at least 20 minutes in lukewarm water with wool soap, block to measurements. Note that for a nice finish, it is important to stretch the sweater like you would do for mittens. You can use pins or insert pieces of cardboard wrapped in plastic bags or plastic film inside the body and sleeves. Wow, and then my printer cut off the rest. It says leave to, and I'm guessing it says dry. But there's like a whole sentence missing and I can't see it. I'll have to look at my PDF from Ravelry. But okay, so that's specific enough that makes me really happy that I know exactly like 20 minutes, lukewarm water. I found my blocking mat, and for some reason I cannot find my blocking pins, and it's driving me crazy. I know exactly what they look like. They have a little blue plastic box. So I have to go search for those because I do want to block it really nicely, like she says, and make it really even. But I am very happy with the size. It grows a little bit, that's fine, but I don't want it to be huge, and I don't think it will be because it's wool. It's going to be, it's going to bounce back, but I do want to make everything as even as possible. And then a few episodes back, I just asked if this person happened to be watching, that I knew someone who watches here had made a Mosi in the past, and theirs was blue, black, and white, like a light sky blue from what I remember. And then this person saw that episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, seriously. And I said, how did you block yours? I just want any other additional tips from someone who's made one, because this yarn is different and I just don't want to mess up this beautiful thing that I've worked so hard on for 6 months. So I copied her comment and kept it for this day. And so she said, hi, Jen, I'm pretty sure that was me who knit a Mosi in blue, black, and white. And it is gorgeous. It's on Ravelry. If you go to Mosi under Hélène Magnússon, you can see the projects, and I bet you can find this person's Mosi. I was worried about the blue and black bleeding into the white, and so I did use a color catcher and vinegar when I blocked it. My usual method of blocking is to fully wet block my garment using Eucalyptus and warm water. For the Mosi, I erred on the side of cooler, but not cold, but lukewarm water, used some Eucalyptus and a color catcher, threw in a little vinegar for good measure, and soaked it for an hour. I dried it flat on a towel. It came out great without any bleeding. And I don't think this will either, but I do worry about anything with black. I think it'll be fine, but I did find my color catchers just in case. And I think that's a really good tip. Even just a half sheet, just throw it in just in case, because it would be tragic if anything bled into the yellow. I would cry real tears. Then she says, yeah, it came out great without any bleeding. I did notice a little shedding onto my t-shirt that I wore underneath for the first few wearings, but it seems to be dissipating. I would recommend using a lint brush on it before you wear it. Let me know if you have any other questions. I love my Mosi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is great extra information. And yeah, I have noticed, like, even when I just try it on, over a black t-shirt, it's a little sheddy. And so maybe I can kind of eliminate a little bit of that before I wear it. But I love this thing so much, and let's go block it. So I do have a small collection of different wool washes, and I love them all, different times, different seasons, different smells. And I have a lot of those individual packets of soak as well. But I think sometimes you just have to smell them and decide, like, what do I want this sweater to smell like? And like what feels like the right one for this sweater. Like last winter, I knitted a sweater and I wanted it to be this mint, what is it called? Wild mint from Soak. That was a new one that I got at Rhinebeck last fall. But then I just picked up this new wool wash it's from the Farmer's Daughter, from my friend at Black Sheep Craft Shop. And that's really fun. This is an orange scent. And then I have a Lang Lang one, Lang Lang and Cedarwood, that I love from Pearl Soho. And this might be the winner just because for some reason, I feel like this might fit this, but I'm going to smell them all and give them all a chance before I decide. But then I have my trusty basin from IKEA. It's a nice big, perfect size bin for sweater soaking. And I think IKEA still has this exact one, but it's like I store things in it, like in my yarn room normally, and then I just dump them out when I'm ready to block a sweater, and then I'll put them back in. But it's such a perfect size. It fits in my sink, and I don't know, it's just like, it's my favorite thing because it's yellow. And then I just have one of these typical foam blocking mats, but it's exactly the right size for a sweater. And so I will lay it out and I will find my blocking pins because I want this to be just right. And I'll lay that out on here to dry for a few days. And again, I'm so happy that I'm ahead of schedule and that I'm not rushing and that I have plenty of time to let it dry, and I can, fix any little things. I've got some little ends maybe to weave in under the arms, but otherwise this thing is done. And I'm so excited that it's just like, it's ready. I'm gonna wear it. It really happened. It all worked out. And let's go throw it in the water for a good soak. If you can see her right there, but Dinah has found the blocking mat, and it's like the perfect, if there's a square on the floor, that's where she's gonna be. That is so funny. The blocking process appears to be going well. The Pearl Soho Lang Lang cedarwood scent is the one that won. I love a cedarwood, and I think that's what does it for me, but it just felt like the right scent for that sweater. And I threw the color catcher in. It appears to be catching nothing, so that's a good sign that there's nothing bleeding off into the water. And I set my timer, and it's in there I'm gonna leave it for a half an hour, maybe a little longer, just to really get it all evened out. And then I cannot wait to stretch it out on the mat, but I don't think I'm gonna leave it in this room because clearly wet sweater plus cat is maybe not a great idea. I would hate for anything to happen to this sweater now that I've been, so successful and I'm so happy with it that like can't take any risks. So I'll probably move it out of this room, but I'll get it kind of stretched out at least find my blocking pins and then just let it sit, probably downstairs. We have like a downstairs area where she is not allowed because my husband has speakers down there that she would definitely claw if she got the chance. And then some other things that we just kind of, I don't know, we have like a non-cat area. And so I think it would be better down there, but I just put it up here for now so I could get it laid out at least when I get the, get it dried off with my towel. I have to grab another towel, but this is an exciting day. Let me just say, I don't think I've ever been so excited to block a sweater. I'm so happy that it happened this week before things got really busy. It was very smart of me to buckle down this week. I let my knit collage projects, I pushed them to the side. I put them away so they weren't always tempting me because I really want to work on those too. But I knew this had to be my single priority and it worked. I just worked on it a little bit every day. And today I finished that last bit of the cuff and I'm so glad I pushed through because what a relief to have that whole sweater completely done and blocking. Now I can work on whatever I want and my other deadline knitting projects like that can all come next. But this was, a big deal. You already know, you've been here with me probably for the past few months hearing about this. So yeah, am I excited? Yes. Am I so happy about the timing and that it looks so good and there's nothing I have to fix or adjust or do anything? It's the best feeling ever. So I can't wait to get it all laid out nicely with the pins and smoothed out and just let it dry for 3 days and then try it on. And so yeah, I'm excited and I think I'm gonna eat my treat now while I wait for the timer to run out because I think I deserve this little treat. It's time. And if you happen to have a little treat in your household, you should go get it and enjoy it now with me, and we will have a Mosi party. That is all I have for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here every week, every Saturday. Thank you for 6 months of encouragement on my Mosi sweater. Thanks for being here through all that and for cheering me on. And thank you for celebrating here with me today on Mosi Day, Mosi Celebration Day. It sounds dorky, but the little things in life are worth celebrating, and I know you understand the significance of a big knit project in your life. And this is kind of a milestone knit for me in a lot of ways. And you know how every stitch is full of different memories and that time in your life. And this sweater will always remind me of graduation time. I watched YouTube videos and documentaries about Iceland while I was knitting it because it was inspiring me to, keep going. And I learned and researched so much about the country, before I go. And it's obviously going to remind me of my Iceland trip. There's going to be a lot of memories wrapped up into that. And, it's just a milestone knit also because I've never knit with yarn that small and I've never done an all over color work sweater in yarn that small either. So it's a big one for me and it took a solid 6 months and I'm very proud of it and I'm so happy with the outcome. I cannot wait to see it after it's dried, after blocking. I cannot wait. But thank you for being here, for being part of the celebration. And I invite you to celebrate your own little things in life, whatever it may be. get yourself a little treat, or just, celebrate in some fun way. I don't know. I'm a dork, and I know. Next week, I will not be here for the first time in maybe 2 years. I always upload a new video every Saturday morning, but next week, for very good reason, I will be enjoying my family and celebrating my graduate. My daughter Lotus is graduating from high school next weekend, and we are having a party one day next weekend, and then the following day is her actual graduation ceremony, which is a big thing because it's a very big class. Like, it's gonna be long and intense. And then there's also like senior awards night next week. There is seniors come home night. They have a senior sunset, where in the beginning of the year, the first day of school, they had a senior sunrise before school with donuts, and they all go out in the football field while the sun rises with blankets, and it's so cute. And then now they have a senior sunset, which I think is like a nighttime party, maybe a bonfire. I have no idea. That's just a guess, but it's very sweet and meaningful and a good wrap up. And there's just a lot of activities next week, and a party and a graduation, and I'm going to be busy and present. And so no video next week is what I'm trying to say. I will be back the following week, and we will be packing together for Iceland. So come back for that. I'll show you all the things I've been accumulating over the past year, getting ready for this. It's a lot, and I'm condensing it as much as I can, but then obviously I'm gonna bring my Mosi and some other hand knits and some things, so it might be interesting. It'll be fun. It'll be fun, I promise. So we'll pack for Iceland. Then the following week, I will be in Iceland. It's very back to back. So there won't be a video that week either. But then after that, I will be here every Saturday, I promise. I'm normally here every single week. I just can't those 2 weekends. And you understand. Just a tiny note, because, and I feel weird even saying this, but people have asked. So a bunch of people had messaged me asking if they could send a little something for Lotus for graduation, but you do not have to do this. Do not feel pressured to do this. You don't have to do anything. Don't even do this. But if you would really like to do that, you don't have to. But if you really want to, there is a coffee link down in my notes below. And if you'd like to send a little something for her for graduation, I will put it in her account and make sure she gets it. So you can do that if you want to, but you don't have to, and you really, really seriously don't have to do anything. Please like and subscribe if you want to hang out here again, and click the notification bell if you want to know when I'm uploading videos, since it's kind of confusing in the weeks ahead. But yeah, I will be here. I'll be back very soon. Wish us luck with graduation. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be happy and sad and beautiful, and I'm so excited, and I don't know, it's come up so fast that I can't believe it's here, but I'm so happy for our daughter. She's ready to go. Her friends are all ready to go. It's really exciting to see the adults that they've become, and they're just all such beautiful people, good heads on their shoulders. They're gonna do big things, and it's a very exciting time. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. Please take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.